What's going on, guys? Shonen Express here, delivering to you my very first Return to Sender video. This one is on Barrage. The goal of this series is to look at manga that have only lasted a short time in serialization and determine why it is that these manga were not successful. In my view, a manga is successful if it is run in a magazine for a full year or more. With that out of the way, we can move on to the topic of today's discussion, Barrage. Barrage was written by Kohei Horikoshi and focuses on a young boy named Astro and his coming to be a prince/savior of his planet. I think that despite this manga only lasting 13 chapters, we have many reasons as to why it was unpopular. Two in particular stand out, and that is the characterization as well as the generic nature of the manga. I think that the characters hold Barrage back in a major way. It seems to me, as I was reading this, that there were really only two characters, the main character Astro and the captain of the guard, Tiamat. With Astro being the main character, we would expect for him to have the most amount of depth to his character. This, unfortunately, is not the case. Astro doesn't do anything for himself throughout the entirety of this manga. We don't really know who Astro is, and all that we really know about him is that he wants to take care of his family. We don't really know why he's reluctant to become the prince, other than it may interfere with his family. Why is he so hung up on saving everyone, even though he says his main priority is his family? If it was true that the most important thing to Astro was family, then he would not be willing to risk his life to save anyone else's family, as they are not part of his own. However, we see multiple times in this manga that Astro actively enters dangerous situations for people that are not his family. This makes it seem like Astro just wants to protect people, but that is not what he says. This would be fine if given more time to explore it, or, in my opinion, if the main villain was one of Astro's family members, this would have challenged his worldview and possibly led to good development. Unfortunately, we never got this, despite having the perfect opportunity to do so in this manga's final villain, who was a father figure to Astro. Tiamat is another character that I feel that we have a substantial amount to work with. However, he also feels hypocritical. Why is he so against training Astro when it is clear that the only hope that the world has is for Astro to get stronger? Eventually, Tiamat comes around to training Astro, but this is not until most of the manga is over. His entire character feels like Horikoshi wanted to create a character similar in nature to Kakashi Hatake from Naruto, and just wanted us to infer they were similar people. Everyone else in Barrage does not matter at all. All of the children that Astro takes care of may as well just be one collective mass because we are given no way to differentiate between them. The villains are extremely forgettable despite what I think are very interesting designs. Even the main villain, who had the potential to be a very intricate character, ended up not making sense at all. With all of that in play, I think that the confusing state of most of the characters is one of the major factors that led this manga to no longer being serialized. The second major problem that I have with Barrage is how generic it feels. This manga takes place in space where a massive war has been waging for years. This is not that uncommon of a story premise. It's clear to me that Horikoshi likes to design characters that have non-human appearances. That being said, a story that takes place in space where aliens are bound to be is a good idea. However, the setting didn't quite make sense. I was never sure if there were different countries on the planet and they were fighting each other, or if other planets were fighting against the planet we were on. Along with that, this manga presents Astro as the chosen one. Now, I am one who likes the stereotype of the chosen one, however, even for me, this felt forced. Astro is the only one who can handle the most powerful weapon on the planet because he is the chosen one, but he only ever discovered that because the real prince was killed. The fact that Astro was able to wield this power did not feel earned at all because while Astro was clearly a good guy, he himself did not want the power. Going on from there, the power system in this manga is very unclear. It seems like the only power that does not directly stem from alien biology is the ancient power that Astro wields, or dark energy. While at first this power system seems to work out fine, dark energy is not introduced until the very end of the manga, and at that point seems very abruptly inserted. All of the events of this manga were set up by the dark energy manipulating powers of the main villain. If that is the case, why would everyone not use dark energy? There seems to be no light side power in this universe aside from Astro's weapon, making this a confusing power system at the very least. The last thing that stuck out as super generic is the motivation of Astro. As I stated earlier in this video, family is certainly what is most important to him. However, while this seems to be a classic shonen trope, at first, on closer inspection, it is not at all consistent in its own implication. It is not clear what Astro really wants, and I think that leaves the readers very confused. I believe that the reason Barrage fails is the combination of these two qualities. Overall, I think that this manga leaves its readers confused as to what kind of story it is telling. I do think that Horikoshi found a great skill for designing characters from this manga that he would then go on to use when he created his next manga, My Hero Academia. So, while I believe that Barrage taught Horikoshi a lot about how to write a good manga, Barrage itself certainly needs to be returned to sender. That's all I got for you guys today. Thanks so much for watching. If you liked anything I had to say, please leave a like down in the comment section below. And subscribe to my channel because I bring you manga reviews every single week as well as my weekly rankings at the end of the week. I also have another Return to Sender video coming later this week. That one will be on Hungry Joker, written by Yuki Tabata, so I'm really excited about doing that one as well. So stay tuned for that. But if you had anything to say, leave it down in the comment section below. I'd love to talk to you about Barrage and about the Return to Sender videos. Do you like this format? Do you not? Either way, I'd love to hear what you have to say. But for now, this is Shonen Express, signing off.